Okay, I don't really do video, and this is probably going to be shaky and terrible, but I really, really want to do this. I'm talking about the 5 significant films in my life. Not favorites, but significance. I've seen it around YouTube a couple times, and I've seen Charlie is So Cool Like do one, which was cool, and Jake Jarvie from Pineapple Boy Films, Pops, yeah! He did one which was also fascinating because I love to see inside people's brains. So here's a look inside mine. First film is Lion King. I was probably in 4th grade when I saw it for the first time. And I was at a friend's birthday party. I remember this. And they started playing it kind of like to settle us down before serving cake and stuff. And then it was time to do cake, and I was like, I think I'm going to pass because I really need to see the end of this movie. And the reason it's significant for me is because, I loved Disney movies as a kid, just like most of us did. But I liked watching Disney movies for like my favorite scene, or because it was my favorite fairy tale, or things like that. And Lion King was a story that I was drawn to, like kind of as a whole for the first time. It was the first time that I loved the movie from beginning to end, and for all the stuff that it did. Songs, characters, story development, messages, the whole 9 yards. So to me that was a significant kind of like first time being a real fan kind of a thing. The second one, I made a list so I wouldn't forget. The second one was, for me, Remember the Titans, which, if you don't know, is the movie with Denzel Washington and a bunch of other amazing people during the time when they were trying to do racial integration, and it was really rocky, and there's a football team and all this stuff. So that was a significant movie for me because it was one my dad and I really latched onto and kind of just never got tired of watching. Also, his daughter has curly hair, and I got a soft spot for the curly hair in the movie thing. Anyways, and it was also significant, not just for spending time with my dad and that memory, but it was also significant for me because it kind of told the story from both your traditionally white American and your traditionally African American person. It kind of told it from both sides a little bit. So it kind of helped me. My parents were white and mixed, and so on. Now, people would consider me mixed, and the terminology is neither here nor there at the moment. But it was a really tough time for me. Like, as a teenager, I would go to my mom's side of the family, and they'd say, oh, that's my white cousin. And I'd come home, and my friends would say, oh, this is my friend, she's mixed, kind of like to explain me. And it was a difficult thing for me to identify with both sides of that culture and not really know like what to do with that. So this was a great movie for me to kind of put that tension to rest inside of me, and that was nice. And it also showed me such a great example of something I'd already kind of suspected was true, but didn't see a lot of good examples of, and that is that you can disagree with and even dislike someone without going straight to hatred. Sorry about the traffic noise. You don't have to hate someone just because you don't agree or because you don't like them. And that's an important lesson to learn. And some people don't ever figure that out. So, okay. So, loved that one. The third one is Breakfast at Tiffany's, which is probably the girliest movie on my list. Oh, so much traffic. And I'd seen it a few times when I was younger with my mom, and it was fun, like it was goofy and silly, and I've always loved like 1960s-ish movie making. I don't know what it is, but I just love the look, I love the feel, I love the music, I just love it all. And it was Audrey Hepburn, hello. So there was a time though when I watched it by myself in high school and finally kind of, trucks. Okay, thank you, truck. Okay, finally kind of understood what it was really about, like beyond the silliness and the loveliness that is Audrey. Kind kind of caught on to the cynical writer Paul Varjak and his journey in that movie, and then also started to like intuitively understand the sadness in that movie. When they talk about her as a real phony, and when she talks about having the mean reds, and finally sort of intuitively understanding what was going on there was a really significant part for me, because it showed me that movies are not about always those exaggerated archetypes of characters that I was used to enjoying and used to picking up on, but that there's another subtle piece to movies that you can see if you have the eyes to see it. So that was cool. The fourth one is Finding Forrester. And Finding Forrester is a movie about a kid who wants to be a writer, basically, but that's an extreme oversimplification. And it's about a lot of things, but the fact that they were using writing to talk about dreams in your life and inspiration and putting in the hard work towards dreams and everything, that was huge for me. Huge for me. So it just really, it fueled my desire to be a better writer more than anything had ever done. And books were usually the culprit for inspiring me as far as my love for writing goes. So to have it in a movie was pretty special. And it just really hit home the hard work that's involved, and didn't like gloss it over and didn't make it look glamorous. It made it look hard, and that was important for me to accept. And then now we're past high school age, now we're into my mid-20s-ish, and I saw Juno for the first time. And pardon shaky camera. Juno taught me what Sunday school tried so often and never could, and that was compassion. And I don't know what it was about that movie. I still have not been able to put my finger on it, but there was something about it that was so accurate, and something about it that made me realize just the people who are around me, just the stories that they go through and everything, and kind of sticking my head out of my own little bubble and looking around and stuff. And it was just a really significant point for me, where it just, I wish I could describe it, but that there are real people with real stories and real issues, and they're not all sure of what to do, just like I'm not sure of what to do. And so there's a lot more reason to be compassionate than there is to be assuming things about other people. So that was a big step for me in my time of life there. So, okay, I tried to talk as fast as I can, but I don't do these video things, so there's no like cuts or edits. This is ridiculously long. So congratulations if you made it to the end. And yeah, this was my 5 most significant movies in my life. Okay, bye.